Holdsworth into the spotlight.
Here you are in your first full year of first grade and you're going to play in the big games at the end of the season. You've got to be excited about that.
Yeah, I am. I'm pretty excited. I spoke to a couple of the boys, a while ago about playing in the final series, and it's just funny seeing blokes like Big Willie and blokes like that excited about playing finals football when they've played for Australia and New South Wales and they've already won a comp and stuff like that. It's funny to see that that they like winning, playing in semi-finals and winning comps more than that.
Tweed Head's born. As a boy, he moved west and was ridiculed in AFL Mad Perth for playing rugby league. 4 years ago, Daniel brought his dreams across the Nullarbor as a 17-year-old, and at Penrith watched his betters win a title.
I got a bit homesick. I probably was a bit too young, but I was so keen to get over here. I didn't really think about that. So it was probably just because I was so young and I wasn't ready to go yet.
In 2004, he moved to St George, where Trent Barrett wasn't ready to go either. When Braith and Astor did want to go from the Bulldogs, coach Steve Folkes brought Daniel into the hardest school there is, the Bulldogs' legendary pre-season.
Yeah, he was instantly accepted by the guys, and part of that acceptance was the fact that he really busted himself during pre-season.
So it shocked you a bit, the pre-season, the difficulty?
Sometimes we trained like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, got Tuesday off, so there was our weekend gone.
But for every summer weekend trashed, the result was many more fully booked over winter. Daniel John, DJ for short, hasn't missed a game.
I think people underestimate how difficult it is to come into a new side with only 6 first grade games under your belt and play 24 in a row at a pretty consistently, good level. So I think he's improved, but I guess, for me, the really good part about his year this year is he's been pretty consistent the long way through, and that's extremely hard to do.
With so little first grade experience and taking over the left side from Braith, who can blame Daniel for passing when Sonny Bill calls?
It's hard to look outside and see Sonny calling for the ball and not give it to him, so, it makes my job a lot easier to have people out there. I've probably just got to be a bit more selfish, I suppose.
He lives in Perth, but he loves his football, loves his rugby league already.
Yeah, well, he's obviously, they get him sitting down and watch me play footy on TV, so...
Uncle DJ.
Yeah, Uncle DJ, and I think his favourite player... Yeah,
Uncle DJ.
I think his favourite player is, has an imaginary, isn't it?
Yeah. What about DJ? Isn't DJ your favourite player? Jax.
His sister's son Jackson is DJ's connection with Perth, visiting this weekend to see Daniel play on Friday night. Having hardly put a foot wrong this year for the Dogs, there is one debut performance Daniel isn't too happy with, but he'd better get used to it.
You were a very reluctant entry in the Sexiest Man competition.
Yeah, that was embarrassing.
The word is that Daniel is polling very well, and little Jackson won't make things any easier.
DJ, you know what your major problem is? You're so good with kids. Sexiest man in league, right? Yeah, you're going to be high on the list of eligible badges.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe.
Back on safer ground, Bulldogs great Terry Lamb has been watching Daniel.
He's come to the club under a little bit of pressure with replacing Braith, but we don't see that here. He's got to play his own game and he's got to fit in with the club.
Daniel's mentor can understand where a rookie's head might be when some of the best runners in the game are calling for the ball. It will mean gaps for Daniel.
If you've got the ball 10 times, give it 8 times and run yourself twice. That's the only suggestions I've given him.
DJ might be outwardly shy, but like all around the scrum base, there's a confidence.
I don't know, I've just been out there playing with the boys, and it's not easy, but it's a lot easier playing with a bunch of blokes I'm playing with, and they're all good mates of mine, and they're obviously going well on the field, so it makes my job a lot easier.
Come springtime, the noise of the barking dogs is an ominous sound in the NRL. it was the right background noise for Terry Lamb's advice.
And what would you say to Daniel when he gets into his first final series with a team like the Dogs and you're a shot at the title? What would you say to him?
I think Paige will be doing all the talk about how he plays his footy, but I'll be just saying enjoy the game, enjoy the environment, and have a look at the people around you. The crowd's going to be 40,000, 50,000 people. Just enjoy it.
Sound advice there from one of the greats of the game in Terry Lamb, and Daniel Holdsworth has been a very good player for the Bulldogs this year, and Steve Folk said he's played every game, and to do that coming for another club is a feather in his cap. And I mean, you played against him Friday night. How did you find him out there in the field?
Yeah, no, he was good. He was on my side of the field, actually, but, you know, I thought...
Did you hammer him a couple of times, or did you get past you a few times?
I think he tortured me a couple of times. No, you know, he's a great young kid, you know. I think he's got a big future, and obviously, you know, Bar's got a rap on him, and, you know, he's a fair judge.
Good kicking game, he kicks goals as well, and he's got a pretty handy backline around him.
Very good, and although it might change, they might have to put Sonny Bill into the forwards, Rennie Mature out there on the right-hand side, but that's a good thing for him. And one of his strengths is he gives the ball and wants it back again. He supports very well, so no surprise there that Terry Lamb's been talking to him.
All right, Daniel Holdsworth heading into the semi-finals in a couple of weeks, and he'll be one of their big guns as they do that. We'll take a break and